Hey guys, it's Marvin again. Just got to noticing in this house that the washing machine drain stuck out into the wall. It stuck out maybe a half inch, but it just made it easier to fur out the entire wall, inch and a half, and move all the boxes, breaker panel, just for this right here. That would have stuck out into the wall, which would have caused an issue later with the sheetrock and everything else. Well, Escambia County, where I build in Florida, requires a 3-inch pipe coming up, and I can't get my guys in the office to change that to a 2x6 wall. So I have to fur out all these walls that I can see need to be done. I would suggest make it easier to insulate the garage as you go. We don't, but I advise every homeowner to, just in case you ever want to turn this to a heated and cooled area. It's already insulated. You just add your vents, whatever you want to add, and everything's going to be fine. Every house is different. Every homeowner is different. I personally went through every door and made sure everything looks fine. One of the big problems you either get to in like an atrium door or a French door. The difference is the atrium door only one side moves, but they both look like doors. The majority of the time with these, you have to go back, and the hinge side of the door, the side that opens right there, that needs to go up. I went up about 1/4 of an inch. Had to go back and reseal the bottom of the door just to make sure everything fit correctly. I know everybody installs their doors a certain way, they have their shims a certain way, but where that gap is in there, I like. And listen, it hits enough to where it's going to cause you seal, but not enough to where anything's going to drag. You want to have a good reveal all the way around the door. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect. I do look at other things, but one of these pet peeves is my doors. Because if a door's not working right, you're trying to go back later around your sheetrock, any kind of wires you have go in it, anything that's going to cause an hindrance makes an issue. So if you go back during the build and check out all your doors, make sure all your exterior doors work like they're supposed to, then you're not going to have an issue. I had a good buddy of mine. His grandfather owns Builder Specialty Supply. They install doors and windows. He told me a while back, he said, man, what you need to do is you need to shim the hinge side, get it correct, and then put some long, I use 3-inch screws in every hinge and shim behind the hinge. Because if that hinge side ever moves, then you're going to have an issue. I like shimming behind my hinges. I might not always do that, but I try to. If I take a 3-inch screw and put it through the hinge along where it's shimmed right there, that door should never move. It should never sag. It should never do anything. Yeah, occasionally it happens, but it shouldn't. We've had the issue where nobody installed the framers didn't install the door correctly. Then we had to come back after everything was done, like 6 months later, and fix the doors. That was before I became a superintendent. So now that I'm a superintendent, I'm trying to rectify and change a lot of the things throughout the build to make sure everything works perfect from here on out. If you go back and look at a lot of the houses that are in the frame, some superintendents might just look through it, okay, it looks fine, and go on with it. I try and look at every little detail, and I frame that wall out, adjusting my doors, make sure all my windows work correctly before my sheetrock and my brick goes up. Then make sure the homeowners to the understanding that we don't do certain things, that we can do certain things. For instance, I try and tell every homeowner to insulate at least around the master bedroom. Now, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I don't do none of this, my second video, but I try and tell every homeowner to go with a rock wool insulation. They make two different kinds. One's for insulation and one's for sound. I'm trying to tell the homeowners to insulate with the sound barrier. It'll help knock out noise for kids. It'll help knock out TV, kitchen, a lot of noises that you would typically hear throughout a house. This homeowner is going to do that. He's also going to insulate his garage because we offer that, but he didn't choose that here because he wasn't told. Apparently, all these homeowners not told a lot without orientation and everything. But I can rectify that in the field. It's not that big of an issue. Most people, if you ever notice how you get into an old house and an interior door is not going to work correctly. An interior door is supposed to be shimmed just like an exterior door. Each side of the hinge and the striker side is supposed to be shimmed correctly so it doesn't move. You put half the door in with the door side, you get everything nice, level, perfect, shimmed off, and then you put the other side on, everything's shimmed, everything's supposed to work. But some trim guys don't. They just put the door in, nail it off, and they call that done. Well, they want to do it cheap and fast. They don't want to do it correct. Most of the times you can go back for an exterior door, and you can adjust them, say a screw in the top or bottom hinge depending on where it's hitting. You can jack up either side of the door. You can do that interior doors. It's a little more difficult because you don't want to mess the paint or the caulk and like that up, but it can be done. I know nobody's really watching these videos yet because I'm just getting started, but if anybody has any questions, comments, I'm more than welcome to answer. Thanks, guys.